Greetings to all, my name is Kyash Bihari and I will be doing my reflective video for CIC2601 question 3. In this reflection video, I'm going to discuss grade 9 natural science lesson on the human digestive system. This topic specifically forms part of the life and living topic and mainly deals with the human body. This lesson is focused mainly on the digestive system and its process and functions, the main digestive organs and the system from the point of ingestion to the point of egestion. There are 3 lesson objectives which I found the learners needed to know from the beginning of the lesson right to the end of the lesson. First of all, I feel the first objective was the learners needed to identify and label the organs, explain the function of each organ, and be able to sequence the pathway in which the food flowed from the point of ingestion to egestion, as well as the organs it passed and how absorption took place. For the introduction of the lesson, I've used a PowerPoint slide with the starter question. What happens to food after we swallow it, and what happens to food before we swallow it? This helped the learners think about their prior knowledge from previous grades as to what digestion includes, as to what the human digestive system includes, and thinking of what could be the new content that they're going to learn. I then began by introducing new content to them. I then used a short digestive system animation or video from YouTube and a digital poll. The digital poll took place on Google Classrooms. Learners had to predict which organs absorb nutrients, and this activity was very useful because it created an interest in the topic and also showed me what the learners knew and what they didn't understand. In terms of the SAMR model, I would place this at the augmentation level because the digital poll improved the normal questioning and answering in the traditional sense. Instead of me writing out questions on the board or printing out questions and giving them and them writing the answers out and sending it back to me, they could now answer the questions and get immediate feedback in their classroom. During the developmental phase of the lesson, I then projected diagrams and slides to the learners to explain the digestive organs and their functions. Learners then completed labeling, matching, as well as sequencing worksheets in pairs. Sequencing worksheets as in they could have to label from one all the way up till the last organ in which food passes. Learners worked in pairs. The learners have worked in pairs to explain this activity. And the reason why the learners would have been able to understand the topic a little better by working in pairs is that this is a more inclusive learning strategy, as now they can take knowledge from what their partner knows and what they know and combine it and fill in the gaps between what one person knows and what the other person doesn't know. They could somehow fill in and bridge the gap in learning. This activity was especially important as it helped learners understand the importance of specific organs, as well as learning the names of the organs, and how they work as one to create a system. I would classify this activity as a modification because technology allowed the diagram, explanations, and the learner tasks to be combined in a more interactive way than a traditional textbook would have. Whereas a traditional textbook, learners may have just seen a black and white diagram and been asked to write the labels in their books. My role as for the consolidation phase, learners would have completed a short quiz using Google Forms and Kahoot. The quiz assessed whether the learners could identify the organs, explain the functions, and explain the process of digestion, all the way from chewing till the point of excretion, till the point of egestion. Sorry, not excretion, egestion. I could use the results to determine what the learners found difficult. Particularly, I have found that learners especially found difficult to identify the organs which involved digestion, chemical and manual and mechanical breakdown of food, as well as which organs are involved in absorption and egestion. This activity puts the augmentation level of the SAMR model because the quiz gave me immediate feedback and made assessment much quicker and more engaging, not only for me as the teacher, but also for the learners as a whole. My role as a teacher was to guide the lesson, explain the scientific terms, terminology, and ask questions and support the learners where they were needed during the activities. As a result of the immediate feedback, the learner's role was active because they watched, predicted, labeled, and discussed and answered questions in their own understandings, as well as getting feedback from their partner in which they worked with, which was a lot more inclusive than working on their own with a standardized textbook. The lesson supported different learning abilities by using a video diagram, discussion, pair work, word bank, and a quiz. Learners who needed support could use the word bank, work with a partner, while stronger learners answered extended questions. Overall, ICT tools made the lesson more visual, interactive, and learner-centered. In the future, I think I would improve the lesson by giving learners more time to complete these activities and by adding short exit questions in which the learners can write and state the organ and their functions in their own words. Thank you.